Good morning to you. Welcome to our discussion segment. Good morning, Anambra Thursday edition. How are you? It's good we are here with you. Okay, this morning, if possible, we're going to look at a very important aspect of our living, especially now that things are going the other way around. So we look at Think Nigeria, Buy Nigeria. Nigeria is not for sale. Don't come and tell me that I asked you to buy Nigeria. Okay, Think Nigeria, Buy Nigeria. Of course, when we say that, we're talking about products made in Nigeria. Anything at all. If you start from our governor, it's whether he's wearing made in Nigeria products, most probably made in Anambra. Okay, the kente is something that he puts on and a whole lot of things. This is a way of encouraging our people to go local, encourage local manufacturers, local producers, so that we'll be able to, hype our own products and make sure that we are noticed out there. Equally, sure. Okay, thank you very much. So we're going to look at the implications now of buying Nigeria and then thinking Nigeria. Okay, if you buy Nigeria, what is the implication? If you don't buy Nigeria or you don't think Nigeria, what is the implication? And I have gentlemen who should know that has joined me to look at this. The first person is Chinemerem Ogwebwe. Chinemerem Ogwebwe is the chairman, Nigerian Association of Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises, Anambra State Chapter. A very good morning to you, Chinemerem.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome. And then the second person is Engineer Fimba Ajebu. Engineer Fimba Ajebu is the chairman, the Nigerian Institute of Safety Engineers, Anambra State Chapter. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning, Anambra.
Good morning, Anambra. I'm pleased to be here.
Okay. Yes, you heard my introduction. Let me start with you, Chinemerem. When you say think Nigeria, buy Nigeria, what exactly does it mean to you?
Okay, what it means is to encourage Nigerians to buy made in Nigerian products. We have lots of products, even our services. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about made in Nigeria, we are encouraging our products and services in Nigeria. We want us as Nigerians to patronize it, to encourage buy Nigerian made products and services to ensure that we grow our economy, we support our products, and even export our products and services to the world.
Okay. When you say services now, what are the areas you're looking at?
There are lots of professional services that one would do like I'm a business development consultant by profession. There are some trainings you want to do. You go and hire professionals outside to do those kind of trainings. Those are services. But here in Nigeria, you have competent people that can also offer such trainings. I remember some time ago, during Jonathan's era, there was some training, some consultancy companies that came in to train, but the government insisted that home-based consultants should be used for such professional trainings and recruitment. So that's what we mean by services.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Ajebu, when you say think Nigeria, buy Nigeria, what do we exactly mean by that?
Yes, thank you very much. I think that's a very powerful slogan, think Nigeria, buy Nigeria. It's very deep, robustly, if each and every one of us who are listening, especially at this point in time, will pay attention to these very four thick words, think Nigeria, buy Nigeria. You will see that from the beginning of your waking up to the end of your day, everything about you as a Nigerian citizen, to be a patriotic citizen, is to ensure that the welfare and health and progress and the economy of your nation, your biological and first nation, for those who have second nations, who may have second places of birth, your first place is Nigeria, and then everything you think about it is going to be Nigerian. From the eating, from the clothing, from every other thing that has to do with you has to be Nigerian. And that is where you buy the things that are made in Nigeria. Because if you're doing this, there are two benefits. On the positive side, you're growing the economy. At the same time, you're adding value to your brothers and sisters who are indigenous as well. You're also adding value to giving a good face outside and beyond the shores of the country and the nation. You're giving a very good face to other people to see that, yes, Nigerians are patriotic, very patriotic, At the same time, you're also adding value to our children, because wherever our children may go, they will know that yes, their home or country home, Nigeria, is a place of patriotism, is filled with people who can patronize, people who can encourage and boost the economy. Over many years ago, you know that Nigeria has been a great country. It's unfortunate that this time, many of the things we do, we don't really think Nigeria. We think, the Westerners most of the time. And then it has affected the economy terribly. And it has taken the exchange rate to be at our own detriment. So if we must continue to think Nigeria by Nigeria, we must start from waking up in the morning to the dawn of the day.
Okay, beautiful. Just this morning, we were looking at the Federal Minister for Information and Orientation statements, that's Idris, where he said that you have to project Nigeria positively, not negatively. Well, I read it, and the only thing that came to my mind is that we feel very free when we go to social media to say that Nigeria is this, and talking down on your nation, but eventually it is we that suffers it. So if you say that this is a nation of criminals, wherever they see you all over the world, they mark you as a criminal, okay?
Absolutely.
Then you see what you have done to yourself because you don't project your country positively. So I really like the line of argument of our discussion this morning. Okay, let's look at the latest trend now, whereby the government said that they've opened the border for importation of food items and a whole lot of things. And we know there are people that have established themselves in agricultural products in this country. So how is this going to affect them, Chinemerem?
Okay, I think somehow it will have an adverse effect on what they do, because these people have actually made impact, and in the last couple of years there have been impact, there have been sincere commitment by the federal government to ensure that these small businesses and even the manufacturers grow their businesses. So when you now open these borders, somehow it will also affect the efforts that have been put, but also look at the fact that we are in a very serious and difficult situation right now. So there is need for palliative, there is need to actually cushion the hardship we have. I think that's why these borders have also been opened. But even at that, I think it's not going to last for a very long time. It's something that we that are local producers, local manufacturers, small businesses in Nigeria should actually keep doing what we are doing. I'll give you an instance. Because of what has been done so far, you find out that I and so many other people I know prefer local rice now than to foreign rice. So even when you open those borders, I myself cannot buy it in my house because I now prefer local rice. I see local rice made in Abakaliki rice, even Anambra rice, that is very, very okay, that I could eat. Mm-hmm. Yes, organic, and we know the health implications of this. So we've opened, we know what we want. We have started seeing that there are some of these products in Nigeria that we use even because of health issues. So even when the borders are, this is just like a palliative to ensure that we have more than enough to cushion the economic hardship that we are facing right now. So we are actually saying that those people that are still in the manufacturing industry, local producers, we should actually try and keep doing what we are doing. We'll have the market, we'll penetrate more markets, and at the end of the day, we'll come out victorious out of it.
All right, thank you very much. Ajewu, that's this, I don't know what to call it, but it does appear it has started living with us that anything made in Nigeria does not have good quality. Okay, because we try to cut corners, to cheat, to, make more money from a little thing or even a fake product. So how do we address Nigerians to stamp their names in their products so that when you say this is this, it is what it is, not when you open it, you see a different things. Perhaps this is what is going to encourage us to, deal more with our Nigerian products. Absolutely.
Frankly, in that area, the regulatory bodies have failed, sincerely. I hold the regulatory bodies very much responsible to that. Regulatory bodies such as NAFDAC, regulatory bodies such as standard organizations, these are federal agencies that have been empowered in the law. And they have all that they require to see that materials, goods that are coming into the country or that are even made within the country especially, emphasis with those that are made within the country, have standards that are very minimum standards that are acceptable. So it is that when they all sit up, these regulatory agencies, because of the empowerment that which they have at their disposal, they sit up, they ensure that they reach out to all manufacturing agencies, all production and processing, from the point of accessing the raw materials. They ensure that they don't compromise the quality raw materials, and that when implementing, they test at every phases of the processing and production and manufacturing of whatever the product is. And then they make sure that that which is being used for the indigenous, for Nigerians, is meeting that minimum standard. Nothing below that standard. Anyone who goes below that standard should be shut down or perhaps be given sanctions. There should be commensurate sanctions to such activities that go below quality standards that is recommended for use within the country. So I think a regulated agency. Secondly, I also think that the law enforcement officers as well should not at the same time partner or collaborate with people who compromise quality in the products and produce for consumption and for use within the country. They also should ensure that at their own responsibility, which is to enforce, they partner with those regulatory agencies and ensure that they enforce and they don't compromise. Because when the regulatory agencies and the enforcement agencies, they take up their responsibilities to the fullest, all those who use raw materials within the country, so who have access to raw materials and to the finishing goods, the finishing products which are being utilized in the country, they will sit up and you get a lot of competition. We have very talented brains, people who can manufacture exceptional products for use within the country. All they do is, when they see that they are being frustrated, they go outside the shores of the country to utilize the best for that or other country at our own detriment. And most times when business persons go outside the countries to bring in goods, they compromise them. So these regulatory agencies have a lot of tasks to do within the shores of the country and outside the shores of the country. They ensure that goods that come into Nigeria, they are very much the best and to be used for the betterment of the people, the welfare of the citizens of our great country, Nigeria. So it's a very difficult task, but I know they are equal to it, and they can do better than this if they so desire and show that commitment and passion, which we all as Nigerians are looking forward to them as patriotic citizens, because without patriotism, you wouldn't want to get anything properly done. You want to cut corners and see that you only feed fat out of these items.
I see. Thank you very much, Ajebu. Thank you. And apart from those that cut corners, I know that people that produce very high quality products, like the Innosi motors, like the cable, electric cable that you can get in this country that beats that of the China and the whole lot of people.
Critics and the likes.
Why is it that even at that, our people don't patronize and they encourage these people? Yeah.
Yes, I think there is a very big problem that we need to solve as Nigerians. When we're talking, the safety. In safety, there's what is called a root cause analysis. When you want to solve a problem, you go down to the cause of the problem. You do a root cause analysis. Now, what is the cause of what you just stated? We are still suffering from post-colonial sentiments and emotions. Because the white man came into Nigeria and we saw him as more superior, till date, we still feel that everything that comes outside the shores of Nigeria is more superior than what we have. You find out that people tend to see class by buying outside the shores of this country. People actually look at class. People want to buy because once you buy from outside the country, it seems that you are in the high class. This is foreign. This is the most effective. This is very, very genuine. And we term everything that comes out of Nigeria as fake. I've had issues where friends will be and you see people wearing shoes that are made from Aba, but they don't want to say it. They want to tell you that this is Aba made. They are not proud of Aba products. They are not proud of Nigerian products. But when you bring this...
Even when it has very superior quality.
Superior quality, yes, than the ones that will bring outside. You even see the Aba man that made this shoe. For him to sell this shoe, he will take out the Abatin and go and bring made in Spain logo and put on it to be able to sell it. And will swear to you that this was made in Spain. So even our manufacturers have not convinced themselves so much that we need to start propagating and supporting made in Nigerian goods. Then we that are buyers, we should be able to have confidence in Nigerian goods. We should be able to wear a shoe that is made in Nigeria and proudly tell everybody listening that this is made in Nigeria. And how do we start this value orientation? Our leaders have a lot of role to play. They should lead by example. Thank God that our Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, is leading by example by wearing made in Nigeria, the Akwete brand. Yeah. If you look at what is happening even in Anambra State, you see that most of the commissioners, most of the advisors, they now wear this Akwete clothes. That is how it is. Even down to the common Anambra man, there is value for Akwete in Anambra State today. So if all our leaders can key into this, when you wear a made in Nigerian shoe, proudly tell people that what I'm wearing is made in Nigeria. I bought it from Aba. I've worn this thing for like 1 year or 2 years and it's still serving me. Let us go back and start building that confidence. Government should not do it for us. We as individuals should do it. You should be proud to buy made in Nigeria. When it lasts for you, you should tell your friends that this thing has lasted. It has lasted. I thought it was going to spoil over some months, but it has lasted over time. That I'm enjoying this product, I'm enjoying these services, I got it from Nigeria. That is how we can actually help to ensure that this made in Nigerian products that will make it available and make everybody build back that confidence that we've lost in made in Nigerian goods.
Okay, thank you very much. Chinemere Mogwebo, you are the chairman of Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Scale Enterprises. What, apart from what we're doing here, what are you guys doing to ensure that these people are really protected, the manufacturers? I mean, the small, medium scale enterprises.
Yes, what we are doing as Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, especially in Anambra State chapter, is that we are trying to build the confidence of small businesses. Mind you that MSMEs in Nigeria make up to 70-something.9% of all the businesses in Nigeria. So you can imagine the effect of small businesses in the economy of our great nation. Now what are we doing? We're encouraging them. We're trying to build up the capacity of these people. I will tell you that in Anambra here, there are lots of businesses, very lucrative, very, very promising, and very, very profitable businesses around. But the economic hardships, some of policies of government that always affect these businesses, what I'm trying to say is that you can do it. We can actually come together as an individual, support ourselves, build their capacities, we do trainings, we build their capacities, we ensure as much as possible that if there are any opportunities, palliatives that they can always gain from, that we are actually trying to help them to gain all these palliatives. Then we're also doing something very, very remarkable in Anambra now. We are talking with Manufacturers of Nigeria, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Anambra State chapter, to see value chains where these small businesses can fit in. Just we are now talking about made in Nigerian products. What we're now trying to do is that we're trying to look at these big manufacturers, break their services, break their value chains, and see where these small businesses can come. Let me give you a practical example. Somebody that is doing fruit juice, instead of importing a fruit juice from abroad, if there is a local manufacturer that is into fruit juice, if you break the value chain, you find out that somebody will supply the oranges for the fruit juice. Somebody is going to get the pineapple for this juice. There is a farm. There is a farmer that will bring this orange for the person to even go and supply it. So you are also enhancing the capacity of the farmer, the person that will supply this. Then there is a fabricator somewhere that will fabricate these equipment that will sip the juice out of these oranges, that will sip the juice out of these pineapples. So what I'm trying to do is now to encourage these small businesses to actually be professional about what they are doing. Then why we also encourage the manufacturers to look towards these small businesses within their areas, within their locality, and encourage of going to import these things. Let us encourage these small businesses, because once you are encouraging them, you are also bringing job creation. We are bringing money into the economy. So we are doing so much. We are sensitizing. We are building their capacity to also make sure that they bring quality products. So our members and our members across the state, what we do is that we want to check your product, we look at your product internally, ensure what you are doing, that it meets the basic standards before we can say, okay, we know that Mr. Emeka is into poultry, and if you get his birds, that his chickens are very reliable, they are strong, you can use it for any occasion, and it will serve you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Engineer Fimba, you notice what is trending in a petroleum industry, whereby we sell our crude outside and then buy refined products. I don't know when this is going to happen. I mean, when this is going to end. And in essence, the price is skyrocketed. Unlike when we had our refineries and producing and consuming what we produce. You came from the safety engineering. What is your role in all this?
Thank you very much. We as an institution, we're a non-governmental institution. We collaborate, we advocate, and we partner with enforcing regulatory agencies, which the state has given the powers. When I mean the state, I mean the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Anambra State government. So those institutions and bodies which have been given the powers to ensure that regulations are implemented, to ensure that enforcement is carried out at all these our stakeholders that are involved in seeing that made in Nigeria goods are patronized, made in Nigeria goods are put in such best qualities that made in Nigerian goods are accessible and affordable to every indigenous at first, and then maybe taken or exported outside. We collaborate with them. From time to time, over the years, we as an institution, we have partnered with agencies like Standard Organization of Nigeria. We have partnered with NAFDAC. We have also collaborated with Federal Road Safety Corps in their activities. We have also at the same time advocated for safety practices in items that are can be consumable within the state. Reach out to schools from primary, secondary, and the tertiary institutions. So from time to time we advocate because we don't have the powers to enforce. We don't have the powers to to come and regulate. So we continue to do our advocacy, our partnership, and then put up activities and trainings and workshops and sensitizations from time to time to see that the people understand the adverse effects of not patronizing made in Nigeria goods. At the same time, understanding these regulatory agencies understand their responsibilities to enforce that quality products are put out to the market for access by Nigerians and all those who are within the sphere and shores of our great country, especially in Anambra State. The governor, being an example, has set his own standards as much as possible. He said he's going to patronize made in Nigerian products. And of course, his apprete is from where it starts. I believe in his home, his wife, his beautiful wife, Noyel, prepares very delicious meals with the raw vegetables and the fruits which you get from the markets, from his country home in Sofia. From sometimes I hear that they go out to the market to buy these raw produce, from the women who go to the farm to pluck and harvest this produce. So when you patronize this raw produce, we have plantains, we have cocoyams, we have yams, all of them within Anambra State. We can, like my colleague said, in terms of value chain, we can improve that value chain. We can promote that value chain such that from the farm, that person that farms such kind of item, okay, whatever it is, be it poultry, be it vegetables, or whatever, fruits, you patronize them, and by patronizing them, you are by extension creating jobs. And when you're creating jobs, by extension, that mechanization or that manufacturing industry or that processing industry where those equipments are being utilized to transform those raw materials to some form of finished goods, you're also patronizing them. And they also go down to patronize technicians who are indigenous. At the same time, they create room for our universities to have an avenue where they can further research on improving equipment and mechanized equipment that are going to be used for food processing and manufacturing. So there is a whole lot that has to come into the value chain, which we start from the top. Mr. Excellency, his governor, sets the pace. Then a lot of other persons, they'll be given a mandate so that every section of the state, especially each of the towns, we have over 100 and something towns, almost 180 towns. The President Generals are given a task amongst the many other tasks which they have to see that raw materials, how many raw materials can be accessible from their places of presiding, where they preside. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4 raw materials which can be accessible and affordable. If they do that, they go further to explore their value chain, which can be made available to the state. And then further, all the other President Generals will do the same. And then in partnership with the traditional rulers in the communities, and then in partnership at the same time with the local government chairmen and councillors, you see that we bring out a whole lot more from each of the communities. From the grassroots, there is a whole lot more fruits and vegetables and food that will be excess, that will be made available, and such that people can also, convert them to various forms. These days you have pounded yam in powder form. People can make such. There's something else as well they call Tom Brown, a combination of soya milk, corn, and then a groundnut, and then rice. When you prepare this kind of food, you'll be amazed at what it adds, at the value it adds to human health. You also go further down to see that our raw materials, cottons and the rest, there are places we can farm all these things within the shores of Anambra State and even within the shores of Nigeria. So that when we say buy Nigeria, think Nigeria, buy Nigeria, we start from the various communities and then go further up to the states and then up further to the federal servants, public servants, the president, all his aides, the governors, all their aides, and then all that. So when they all are responsible and take will I call it, even if they have the avenue for them to take oaths to see that they patronize made in Nigeria goods, there should be such avenues created so that they think Nigeria and they buy made in Nigeria goods. I believe you me, you'll be amazed at the kind of impact and value that will be added to our economy. And a lot of problems and vices will be taken away because jobs will be created. It becomes such a way that America, they pay per hour. We can make it such that you pay per hour in that great country, because this is where, in agriculture, is where there's enormous wealth and there's enormous opportunity to create jobs. So I think we will continue to encourage Think Nigeria and Made in Nigeria. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How long have your institution been around?
Yes, institution has been for the past 8 years presently. We've been in Anambra. It was started and the pioneer chairman, Engineer Martin Abili, who is the PAMSEC, Minister of Youth and Sports. Very agile. The agility is everywhere. When he was a fire chief, he was active and everywhere. Thanks to him for putting up a lot of efforts to see that we started a Nigerian Institution of Safety Engineers in Anambra State. And over the years, we've done quite a lot. And I hope we'll still continue to do more as the year go by.
That's cool. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll take a break here. We're going to talk to some people on the street, and when we come back, we'll start concluding. Let's take a break here, please.
Nigerians are productive. Those that we have less that say that we don't have a good government that supports us, or maybe. But look at it, as in most of the things that we manufacture here in our own are more durable than the things we import from outside. Like me, I'm a trader. I import footwear from China and Dubai and those things. But this my footwear now is being made here in our country. And it's more durable and more stronger than the ones we import. So I will encourage we to patronize ourselves so the government can be able to assist the masses and assist traders and businessmen to control and protect the rate of importation. Let us support ourselves, patronize ourselves, and see how far we go.
It really goes a long way to boost the economy of the country. That's one. Now, secondly, is that making use of homemade products manufactured in Nigeria also stabilizes the revenue and some other revenues being generated in the country. So we actually need to promote that more in our countryside, and then making use of some of those products that are being manufactured in Nigeria. It also goes a long way to, make our country known in some part of the world.
First of all, we would like to know who are these local manufacturers. We have Emerson, who manufactures cars, vehicles of all sorts. And we have Anambra rice. We also have Gary being produced in the state or locally. I think it's very beneficial if we patronize these local manufacturers, because by patronizing them, we're expanding the economy locally. We encourage them to produce more instead of importing these products from overseas, taking into consideration the foreign exchange. It's like we're empowering the Westerners, but if we encourage our local manufacturers here, we're expanding the economy and at the same time making the products available to everybody without spending much.
Government itself should start making use of the Nigerian products. That is the number one thing. If they start patronizing its country's products, that is the number one way of taking the product. Number two is to bring in machineries to assist those small scale producers, because Nigerians are trying in terms of production, and most of these things are individual strengths. So the role governments have to play here is to harmonize those individual strengths to form caterpillars or giant products across the nation. So if they patronize their products, they industrialize them and empower them, I think they now cut down taxation. They have to cut down taxation for local products, both in transportation, in their machinery, in their day-to-day activity, in everything. And they should also have a way of releasing grants to the people that are producing anything locally. That is the way to boost Nigerian companies and industries. They should just find a way to improve on the small scale industries.
Okay, welcome back. It is still Good Morning Anambra, and today we are thinking Nigeria and buying Nigeria. And I still have gentlemen in the house, Chinemere Mogwebwe and Engineer Fimba Ajewu. With me, gentlemen, you're still welcome here. Let's see how government can help us to also think Nigeria and buy Nigeria, because you cannot be telling me to think Nigeria and buy Nigeria when you are not thinking of buying Nigeria. We are giving an example with what our governor is doing, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, to encourage us to think Anambra and buy Igbo, as a matter of fact. But in this case, we are spreading it out, okay? You are encouraging us to think Nigeria and buy Nigeria. Your children are screened outside this country. Your investment is outside this country. Your companies are outside this country, a whole lot of things. So, and then you come to the national television and tell us to think Nigeria, buy Nigeria, patronize made in Nigeria good. Chinemerem, how would the government encourage us to think Nigeria and buy Nigeria by, first of all, thinking Nigeria and buy Nigeria themselves?
Yes, I think there should be sincerity of purpose amongst our leaders. Not just to come out to the television and say buy made in Nigerian goods, but to lead by example. That is one of the greatest problems we have as a nation. Because our leaders will be saying this, then you look at their lifestyle, it doesn't correlate with what they are saying. If our leaders get committed to buying made in Nigerian goods, the followers will see and follow. Because you cannot be saying, buy made in Nigeria, I look at your shoe, you are wearing an Italian shoe worth millions of naira. But you are telling the next person to go and buy made in Nigeria. When you talk made in Nigeria, we should look at you and say, okay, there is something Nigerian about your wares, even where you buy products that you use. I remember in 2012, President Goodluck Jonathan, during the budget presentation, made it that I think 70% of the budget should be geared towards supporting made in Nigerian products. That was a very nice step. And I think that was when this sensitization of made in Nigerian products started getting the momentum that it needed. Our leaders need to follow up at every level, even within MDAs. Small contracts that comes out should be encouraged. Government should encourage local producers to have a certain percentage to these jobs. It will encourage that young man. It will encourage that young woman, even the cobbler in the street. If he or she knows that if I get this particular shoe, there is a buyer for it. I'll give a practical example. The shoe I'm wearing now is made in Anambra by a young man. Now, when he started, He did the first shoe. I said, wow, this looks great. Now, he said, if you get any design of any shoe that you like, just bring it to me, I'll do it. And I tested it 2 times and it worked. Today, I'm preaching the young man's gospel. People has actually gotten shoes from him and he's making a lot of impact. Now, he started with just 1 person. Today, he has over 5 staff that are working with him. That is the power of buying made in Nigeria. Our leaders, if we follow this suit, our local government chairmen, our councillors, our state executives, everybody, even the rich men, even the rich people amongst us, let us start buying made in Nigeria. Let's show commitment to buying and supporting this, not just saying buy made in Nigeria, but let there be sincerity of purpose. Let it be actionable. Let the poor man in the street see you walk into that local manufacturer and buy. I bet you it will encourage everybody in that street. Imagine somebody like a big man, let me not just call him, but someone who is a wealthy man comes into a street where there is a local cobbler and gets 3 or 4 pairs of shoe. I believe you that every young person in that street will want to buy shoe from that shop, because they will say, this is where Mr. A buys his or her shoe, or this is where Mr. A buys. So for Mr. A to wear this, that means that I can also wear this. So they should be able to lead by example so that we can actually encourage the general public and average Nigerians to support these made in Nigerian products.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Ajegu. Apart from living by example, what about providing grants and then making the environment very, very conducive for people that are engaged in small-scale businesses to triumph, especially when you go to agriculture? Provision of tractors and a whole lot of things. People are still cultivating manually to produce food. Perhaps that's why we're having this problem of food insecurity. So what is the role of government in all this?
Yes, frankly, there is a list of items I would consider very key steps that government has to take, which are going to be deliberate, because it has to be deliberate, and it has to be monitored over time. And then you get feedbacks from the monitors who go into the field to ensure that these items which have been given. First of all, government has to have an avenue where you call all necessary stakeholders. Mr. Governor has such avenue where you gather the agriculturists and those who make agric food stuffs and all that through the Ministry of Agric. They come together and then they provide platforms where people can subscribe to using the mechanized equipment and the machines to ease agricultural activities in their various communities. Such platforms should be encouraged. It should be coming, if not 2 or 3 times in a year. It can be made available, very much possible. And same thing for various other aspects of the economy, of manufacturing produce, like you rightly mentioned. The government has a very, very key role, because a good number of things are dependent on the policies which the governments make. Certain persons will want to go into them, private sector, but due to policies which may hinder, their way of operation, their standards of operation of such kind of an activity, they now step back or pull back. You have where government deliberately puts policies through the House of Assembly members. They pick very key salient items which they need to put into their legislative activity, legislative documents, such that when people who are interested in agriculture, when people who are interested in accessing raw materials, from the ground, when persons who are interested in mining, when persons who are interested in utilizing finished conversion of raw materials to another process, these policies will ease such transition at that point in time. What I mean is, from the government formulation of the policies, they have monitors, implementing offices or agencies who will follow up to the grassroots where the raw materials are accessible, and then follow up to the companies, whoever it is, because when companies come in, like through agencies like the Accra Capital Territory Development Agency, they look forward to subsidy, they look forward to availability of land, they look forward to certain assets which the government can give either on lease or outright forfeiture to them, such that with these, it can give them a good landing to commence whatever businesses in manufacturing or processing or even agriculture which they intend to embark on. If government put policies out and sensitize the people about these policies, sensitize legitimate investors about these policies, give them a clear picture of what they stand to benefit over time and how they can start up immediately without cumbersome and bureaucratic bottlenecks, I think such will help to give any investor or even any indigene who is also very grounded in the communities to see that, yes, he or she can take this up and then within a space of few months or a year or two, can then start turning over funds and be remitting, paying to government. At the same time, government can waiver taxes, which federal and states are, are frequent in doing. You can have tax waivers, which can also help investors in agri-produce and then all manufacturing and processing. So even people like Innocent, which we have mentioned, they also enjoyed certain tax waivers at some point in time that help them to, boost their businesses, to help them to make these manufactured goods within the country, and now they are becoming top shots in, recognized as made in Nigeria. I think the governments have to be deliberate on all these steps and processes to see that they encourage from the grassroots those who access raw materials, then to the top those who finish the raw material, who finish goods, and then those who bring in other equipment to support that which they get from the raw material within the country, and then turn into finished goods. I think there is a lot of collaboration and a lot of synergy which can be put, but most of them has to be done through the policies and through the legislative enactments.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, we just celebrated the 33rd Anambra anniversary, creation of Anambra anniversary just a few days ago, but we are still in celebration mode as a matter of fact. So I would like to give you gentlemen some time to send your own message of
Anambra 33.
a congratulatory message to Anambra State and their indigene and her indigenes for this celebration. I'm starting with you, Ogwebwe.
Okay, I want to sincerely thank the Anambra for the journey so far. It's not been easy, but I'm sure that we are not where we are today. And more especially our governor, Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, the solution governor, has actually brought another dimension to development in Anambra. Because there is solution everywhere, there's a new Anambra. And we've evolved to a level where you can proudly go out and say, I'm an Anambra man. And in Anambra, we are doing very well. We are proud of Anambra. It's not easy, the economy, especially I talk from the angle of MSMEs, micro and small medium enterprises. It's not been easy. We know the policies, the subsidy and everything, but in Anambra, I'm sure that the governor, and I know that the governor is doing so much to ensure that we lift the sufferings of micro, small and medium enterprises. The governor is intentional about raising micro entrepreneurs. Look at what is happening with the 1U2 scale. Giving skills, giving entrepreneurship skills, and raising micro entrepreneurs that will become the hedge and the foundation of economy of our state. So I want to actually say congratulations to each and every one of us. Keep doing what we are doing. Stay safe and ensure that you commit in whatever little form to build a livable and prosperous Anambra.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, Engineer Fimba Ajebu. Just give us your own anniversary message as well.
Yes, especially I want to congratulate and thank the governors over the years, right from the time of the military, and then Ezife, may God bless his soul, and then Mbadinuju as well, may God bless his soul, and then all the other governors who are still living, who have contributed immensely in their own quota and their own understanding to Anambra 33. It's not been easy. The road has been rough and tough at the same time. We know how rugged Anambra can be. And we're people who are resilient. We are very, very productive. We are the best in many areas of facets of life. Education, manufacturing, production, all that. We're all the best, tops across the globe. If you go to foreign countries, you find Anambra. Every Anambra man there, you find they are into something very productive. So it is not just a one person's thing. It's a collective effort. We want to congratulate each and every one of us. We can do better than this, certainly. We can do better than this. And we are very optimistic people, from the governor down to every other persons in the school, children and all that. We must have a role to play. And that role starts from the beginning of your home. When you wake up, you thank the God, you thank our Almighty God for the day. And then you spring out. Don't think somebody is going to do it for you, but you can do it. Let us have that spirit of, yes, we can. Because over the years of 33, we have done so much, and we can do much more. So I congratulate us all once more, and let us continue to do the best we can do. While we think Anambra, we buy made in Anambra, and then we project everything around us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Engineer Fimba Ajegu, Chairman, the Nigerian Institute of Safety Engineers, Anambra State Chapter. Thank you very much for coming this morning.
Pleased to be here.
And I also want to thank you, Chinemerem Ogwebwe, Chairman, Nigerian Association of Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises, Anambra State Chapter. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You
Thank
guys
you,
look like
Anambra.
brothers. From Anambra State.
Yeah, that's the Anambra
but you
blood.
won't take him away. He's my own brother. My own personal package.
That's the Anambra blood, brother.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Mwachukwu and Debuka behind the cameras. Thank you, Chibike, the MCR. Thank you, Ifyu Nachukwu and Chinyere, the production crew. Thank you for making it happen today. On behalf of the management and staff of Anambra Broadcasting Service, I say thank you for joining us in this week's edition of the program. My name is Ijoma Uche. Do have a good day.